What's up, H-Town, and welcome to the H-Town Horseshoe. This is the podcast from the city of Houston, where we give you the inside scoop on the mayor's office, the many departments, and what happens around the city council horseshoe. My name is Brent Taylor. I'm Public Information Officer in the Mayor's Office of Communications.
And I'm Rebecca Williams, the Supervisor for Ceremonial Documents, a.k.a. #ProcNation.
And I'm Michelle Duval, the Mayor's Social Media Manager. So recently, City Council approved $315,000 for pet microchipping to help BARC with adoptions and reuniting lost pets with their owners. We are joined here today with Cory Stottlemyer, Director of Communications for ARA and Deputy Shelter Director at BARC. Welcome to the show, Cory.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it, guys.
So for those people who don't know, can you tell us what BARC is? What does it do for our furry friends in and around Houston?
So BARC is the official animal shelter for the city of Houston. We are the physical animal shelter, and we are also the enforcement side of things that goes out into your community. You call 311, you ask for assistance. We're the ones who show up.
Awesome.
So that means that, not only can people adopt pets from BARC, but also if I'm out and I see a stray dog running around and we make that call, your guys are the ones who come out, right?
Yes, that's correct. So we have a low-cost wellness center as well at our adoption center. So we have, many services we provide to the public and all related to pet care. And we're the official one for the city.
Very cool. So it's like a one-stop shop for all your animal needs as a city
we need that in
Houston.
Right. So tell us about the health benefits, because a lot of hospitals like Texas Children's and different hospitals, they bring animals in to kind of couple that health care aspect and that pet, that friend, giving that assurance. Talk about the health care benefits of just bringing pets into your life.
Exactly. So pets are a member of your family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They are great for stress relief. Having pets, it tends to improve life expectancy in adults. It's great for kids, teaching responsibility. But kids growing up in a family with pets learn, rules and responsibilities. And, I have 3 dogs and 1 cat.
Okay,
I fit the city ordinance. But one of my most recent babies from BARC. My others are all rescues. The cat's the typical story, found by a dumpster behind, and she found us, kind of story. But they're my babies. They're my children. At the end of the day, there's nothing better if it's a long day, a great day, whatever. It's great to just lie down and have my cat sleeping on my lap and my dog's cuddled up next to me.
What are their names?
So you'll see a theme. The cat is Busy, and then there's Rugby, Scruffy, and Tootsie.
Okay. Come on, E.
So there's the E-Y, the I-E, yeah.
So I love that you mentioned the teaching kids about responsibility and taking care of things. So I have a few kids, and my smallest one right now is 1 year old, and that's pretty young. He's still figuring out his motor skills and stuff like that. But I've been able to teach him with our dog Amy, because he's really likes to grab and squeeze and
you can't do that to the dog.
And so he's learning. I'm able to teach him soft, and he knows when I say soft, that's just putting his hand down real careful. And so not only am I teaching him how to work with the pets and to be good with pets, but it's also teaching basic things that a child should be learning at that age.
Yeah,
so.
boundaries.
Exactly.
And things like that.
I was just about to say boundaries. My nephew, when he comes over, he loves to play with the dogs. It's a great way for him to get energy out.
Right.
We're like, you know what? Uncle Cory's going to be in the kitchen for a little bit. He'll play with the dogs outside. Perfect.
Yeah.
They love it. They could run around with him all afternoon. The cat, she likes her pets, but she knows where she likes to be pet. And she will let you know which spots are yes and which spots are no. And so that's something he's learned. He's like, and he'll tell us, he's like, so I went and pet Busy. She let me scratch her on the head. I was like, perfect, bud. You know what her boundaries are. And she communicated that to you, as cats will.
Right.
Yes, they do. They definitely will.
So Michelle brought up earlier this $315,000 that was passed at City Council. Tell us about that. That's for microchipping. That's for more services. What does that money do for BARC?
Yeah, so that allows us to purchase microchips that we can provide through our low-cost wellness center. So I mentioned that earlier, but we provide routine vaccinations for owned pets of city residents.
Okay.
And microchipping is also a service that we provide. and it's only $15 to come do it at BARC. You can go and get it at your local vet, but this is a low-cost service we provide.
And if a person doesn't know what microchipping
Chipping.
is, can you tell us what that is?
Yes. So a microchip basically is a indicator for us. We have like basically a wand or kind of a thing we wave over. If your pet has a microchip, it's usually put in between the shoulder blades. It's a tiny little thing. It allows us to connect to a registration that's tied to the microchip, who the owner is or the company that it's registered under, and they have your contact information, your address. So that way, if a pet ever gets lost or separated from the owner, something like that, if it has a microchip, we can reunite it with its owner because we have that contact information. We know the pets, some of them are, indoor, never have to worry about them. They go out to the business, come in. There's some who spend their days outside, but they can get scared. Somebody could accidentally leave a gate open, and pet gets out, and we know. I've had pets before. They are my best friend. I love them to death. If that door is open, they are running. They know where they sleep.
And everything. They're still running.
And so we know it happens. And so this way, though, it ensures kind of like, it's like an insurance to you. Hey, my pet's microchipped. If it gets out, if it gets scared, we know with the recent holidays, fireworks happen. People are celebrating. Animals can act in different ways. If it gets out and we pick it up or somebody else does, we tell the public, if you encounter an animal, one thing you can do is take it to a local vet and check for a microchip. And if it is, then it goes right back home.
That's really, really nice. And that must help you guys kind of keep the numbers down there in the shelter.
Exactly. Well, that ties into last January, City Council approved a change to require microchipping for all owned pets in city limits. So cats and dogs are required to be microchipped. It's part of a registration process. So if you do own a cat or dog, you should register it with the city. And as part of that registration, you're required to provide proof now of not only a rabies vaccine, but a microchip. So you don't have to get it at BARC. You can get your microchip at your local vet. But regardless where you get it, you do need to have it along with your rabies vaccine. Same kind of thing. You don't have to get it at BARC. You can do it at your local vet. But now, last January, that was unanimously approved by City Council. So when you register your pet, you get it microchipped. Because like you said, if our enforcement team encounters it in the field, we have those checks so we can wand the pet, find its microchip, take it back home. Never has to come to the shelter. Never has to take up a kennel, which is great for us in terms of capacity, but also just one of our goals at BARC is keeping pets united as well.
And something I think that people who are less familiar with microchips may not realize, but the information on them is not, it's not live. Like, it's not like a connected to the internet or GPS. Like, we're not tracking you through this.
It's only through you all.
It's just the way that if the pet is found, you have, it's essentially like they're walking around with like a little tag on it.
It's like a virtual one.
Okay, I'm going to be one of those people. Okay, because I love my furry baby. Shout out, Bo. I love him. So, does it hurt? Because I know some people get real sensitive about that in their pets. Like, what will my baby be going through?
It's the size of a grain of rice. Microchip. So it is very tiny, and it's a quick, few seconds to insert. Usually the only discomfort may be from just holding its scruff or making sure it's in place, but usually you'll have like a tech and somebody else to actually put the microchip in. I've seen it at our shelter. We've offered free microchipping events occasionally. So if we do get something sponsored, or sometimes we look at our inventory, like we could offer an event to the public. We've tried to do that because we say we have a low-cost wellness center, but we understand there's sometimes even that's a barrier for some. So we want to offer those free events. I've been in the room when they've administered it, and it is quick. And the pets are more so just kind of,
what's going on?
What's going on? And I've been there when they had the cats, and that's what everybody's like, cats can kind of... And every animal has its own behaviors, but the ones I've seen, they drive by too, they'd be like, we can put it right here on the table and do it and put it back.
And so you mentioned some free events. Is there anywhere people can go to look for that information whenever they come up?
Anytime we offer those kind of events, we'll post on our website, HoustonBark.com. You can follow us on all our socials. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Nextdoor too. So Houston residents on Nextdoor, you'll likely see us posting daily available pets and services.
Well, I know the people in my neighborhood are very active on Nextdoor when it comes to animals running around. That's the first thing
gonna
they talk
post.
about.
They're gonna post. Now, is there a time frame? So let's say I'm a person. I've gotten my new pet. How long do I have before I have to have them microchipped?
So we're kind of in a grace period through January, but come February, we will be enforcing it. So if you do purchase your pet, the great thing is if you adopt from BARC, it already comes complete, so it'll be
Okay.
fully worked up. And then, but pretty much like you should get it done immediately because you're thinking about it. If you do, once you leave with that pet is your responsibility, and anything could happen, even from you leaving wherever you adopted it, where you got the pet. So you should try to book something as soon as possible.
So now we're going to play a game.
Okay.
It's called 5 questions in 10 seconds. Okay? So here are the
Alright.
rules. Mr. Brent is going to keep the time. And when your time is up, he is going to let you know.
Okay.
Myself and Rebecca are going to ask these questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Brent, let us know when it's time.
All right, we will go in 3, 2, 1.
How long has BARC been open?
40 years since '84.
Yeah.
All right. How many adoptions have happened this year?
If we're 2023, it's like 140.
There we go.
10 seconds goes fast.
Oh my
All right, we got to get through them. We got to
I
get
got 2
through them.
questions.
Really?
You
we
paused.
gonna
I got
read them?
answers. Okay, no, I can do rapid fire. I can do rapid
That
fire.
was 10 questions. That's 10 seconds. Yeah. We only
Okay.
got to do 2
Wow.
questions. Let's just do the questions anyway.
Yeah, keep
we're here
asking.
for it.
I got answers.
So look. So for this time, you got 2 points. So the next time you come visit us, you're gonna be ready.
That's
Okay,
just
all
No
in 10
pause.
seconds.
No pause. I just got to say
gotta
the
go
answer.
with it.
All right. So the next question was going to be, where can people donate animal food?
So we are located at, well, our donations entrance is 2700 Avella Street, EVELLA. You can take them to our outreach building. Any donations are accepted there. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day.
All right. Now, on average, how many adoptions? Not how many adoptions. How long does the adoption process take?
So usually, once you, we don't want to rush the process. So you can take your time. If you come, we're open noon to 5, Tuesday through Sunday. We're closed Monday for adoptions. And we want you to take your time to get to know the pet. So we have like an open area if you want to walk a dog and see its temperament, see how your family, if you have young kids, how they feel comfortable around the pet. But the process itself, depending on if there might be any medical needs with the pet, or, you know, our medical team needs to come and say like, hey, they're still receiving this round of vaccinations or these medications. This is what you need to do. It could take an hour. But less, if there's no like medical needs or any workups you need to talk to our vet tech staff, it could take less than that. Because sometimes people look online. That's how we got my dog. I wasn't even looking, and I was there on property. I'd seen Tootsie. My husband was looking online, and he said, "This one, go check her out."
There you
And
go.
she was ours the next day.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
And
Just from the
the
photo.
Clean like the process took no time because we were like, we'll foster her for a bit to see how she interacts with our dogs. It was like reuniting like lost
Right.
friends. I was
Or
like,
just,
okay, let me
yeah.
close it tomorrow. What am I thinking? We're gonna foster this dog. Yeah.
So the last question would have been, how many different services does BARC offer?
We offer like around a dozen, like quite a bit. So we have our adoptions, foster, volunteering. We work with rescues. We have our trap, neuter, return, which is for cats. If you want to become a colony manager and manage a colony of cats that aren't necessarily up for being owned, but you come in, they get spayed or neutered and returned back into the community, and you could do that and manage them.
Okay.
We offer the low-cost wellness center, but we also have our shelter medical team who care for the animals on property, and those get brought in either owner turn-in or, as mentioned, the enforcement side, so the
Right.
team that's out in the community. We're also a member of the Harris County Animal Cruelty Task Force, so we provide actual like investigation services into potential animal cruelty cases. And we have a bite case office, so if there is a bite in the community, our office handles that, the quarantine, the investigation, that kind of workaround on that. So that's quite a bit.
You
There's
guys
a
do it
lot of
all.
services. Yeah.
Yeah,
And, like,
lot.
we're it for the city of Houston. Like there's a lot of
Right.
like private nonprofits we work with and partner with, but the municipal animal shelter for City of Houston is BARC.
Right.
We're it.
Okay. If you guys want to adopt, if you want to foster, please reach out to BARC. My name is Michelle Duvall, and I'm the mayor's social media manager, and we'll see you next week for another episode of the H-Town Horseshoe.